Imagine you're standing in front of two doors. Behind door number one, you get a smaller amount of money, but you get it right now, every single month, starting today. Behind door number two, you get significantly more money, but you have to wait. Maybe 5 years, maybe 8. Most people, without even thinking twice, walk straight through door number one. And here's the strange part. It's not because door number one is the smarter choice. It's because of something happening inside their brain that has almost nothing to do with math and everything to do with psychology. This is the exact decision millions of Americans make every single year with Social Security. And most of them don't even realize they're making it. They think they're just getting what they're owed. What they don't realize is that this one decision, made in a single moment, often out of fear or urgency, can quietly shape the next 20 or 30 years of their financial life. Let's talk about the trap nobody really explains to you until it's already too late to undo it. Here's the common belief most people walk around with. Social Security is Social Security. I paid into it my whole life, so I should just take it as soon as I'm allowed to. It feels fair, it feels earned, and honestly, it feels good to finally get something back after decades of watching it disappear from every paycheck. But here's what almost nobody sits down and explains clearly. The age at which you start taking Social Security doesn't just change a small detail. It permanently locks in the size of your check for the rest of your life. Think of it like a plant. If you pick a fruit while it's still small and green, you get to eat it now, but it will never grow any bigger. If you wait, the same fruit keeps growing, month after month, year after year, until it's significantly larger. Once you pick it, though, that's it. It stops growing forever. Social Security works almost exactly like that fruit. The system is built so that the earlier you claim it, the smaller your monthly check becomes, permanently. And the longer you wait, up to a certain point, the larger that check grows, permanently. It's not a bonus for waiting. It's built directly into the structure of the system itself. So, why do so many people still grab the smaller fruit early? This is where the psychology becomes far more interesting than the finance. Our brains are wired with something researchers call present bias. It means we naturally value money we can have right now far more than money we might have later, even when later is clearly the better deal. It's the same reason people struggle to save for retirement in their 20s, even when they know, logically, that compounding makes early saving incredibly powerful. The brain isn't built to weigh now and later fairly. It tips the scale heavily toward now. Add to that a very human fear. What if something happens to me before I get to use this money at all? That fear is real, and it's completely understandable. Nobody wants to feel like they waited too long and missed out entirely. But that fear often pushes people into a decision based on anxiety, not on their actual financial picture. And here's the part that makes this trap especially sneaky. The decision to claim early doesn't just affect you. In many cases, it can affect a spouse as well, sometimes long after the original decision was made. A choice made in a single year, often under stress or uncertainty, can quietly ripple forward for decades. So let's break down what's actually happening, step by step, in the simplest way possible. There's a concept called full retirement age. Think of this as the point the system considers your natural standard claiming age. The point where you get exactly the benefit you've earned, no bonus, no penalty. Claim before that age and your monthly check is permanently reduced. Claim after that age and your monthly check permanently increases up until a certain cutoff point where the growth stops. It's not a small difference either. Depending on how early or how late someone claims, the monthly amount can shift by a significant percentage in either direction. And because this isn't a one-time payment, it's a monthly check for the rest of your life. Even a modest difference in the monthly amount compounds into a massive difference over 20 or 30 years of retirement. Here's a simple way to picture it. Imagine two neighbors. Both worked the same job, made the same salary, paid into the system the same way. One claims early because it feels right. The other waits several years, even though it's harder in the short term. Fast forward 20 years, and the second neighbor is receiving a noticeably larger check every single month for the rest of their life, simply because of one decision made years earlier. Now here's the deeper insight, the part most people never stop to think about. We tend to treat Social Security like a fixed, guaranteed thing, almost like a paycheck that shows up no matter what we do. But in reality, it's one of the very few genuinely guaranteed financial decisions most people will ever make in their life. And paradoxically, it's one of the most overlooked. People will spend hours comparing credit card interest rates, researching the best savings account, or debating which stock to buy. But this single decision, when to claim, often gets made in a rushed afternoon, sometimes influenced more by a rumor from a coworker or a headline about the program running out of money than any real understanding of how the system actually works. That's the real trap. It's not that Social Security is confusing on purpose. It's that our brains are wired to prioritize immediate comfort over long-term math, and nobody is sitting people down early enough to explain the trade-off clearly before the moment of decision arrives. So what should you actually take away from this? First, understand that this is not a one-size-fits-all decision. Health, other income, family longevity, and personal financial needs all play a role. This video isn't telling you claiming early is always wrong. For some people, based on their specific health or financial situation, it may genuinely be the right choice. What matters most is this: don't let the decision be made by default, out of fear, or because that's just what everyone does. This is one of the few financial decisions in your life where the size of the outcome is locked in for potentially 30 or more years. That alone makes it worth genuinely understanding. Ideally, years before you're standing at that decision point, rather than reacting to it in the moment. Second, recognize the pattern in your own financial behavior. This same small amount now versus larger amount later, tension shows up everywhere in money. In investing, in debt payoff, in saving. Learning to notice when your brain is choosing comfort over growth is one of the most valuable financial skills you can build, and Social Security is simply one of the clearest, highest stakes examples of it. Finally, treat big, permanent financial decisions differently than everyday ones. A choice about what to have for dinner can be undone tomorrow. A choice like this one often can't be undone at all. The bigger and more permanent the decision, the more it deserves quiet, unhurried thought, not a reaction made under pressure. Here's the thought I want to leave you with. Money decisions rarely fail because people don't work hard enough, or because they don't earn enough. They fail because our brains are built for immediate comfort in a world that increasingly rewards patience. The people who build lasting financial security aren't necessarily the ones who make more money. They're often the ones who learn to recognize this exact psychological trap and choose to slow down at the moments that matter most. Social Security is just one door, but learning to notice when you're about to walk through the wrong one simply because it feels easier right now, that's a lesson that will serve you in every financial decision you make for the rest of your life.